Radio. You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Vegas, it's rock, it's dogs, it's Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Stand by for great guests and cool advice, all in one rockin' hour. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Good morning. We are broadcasting live from sunny Las Vegas, and you're listening to the Vegas Rock Dog Radio Show, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. If you're listening in for the first time, my name is Sam. I am the host, who is also known as the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. So before we get started, let's tell you how you're going to find me all over the internet. And just bear in mind, you can listen to the show anywhere in the world. How about the universe? I wonder if there's any aliens listening in. So here we go. Main website is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Our Ustream account, and we are streaming. Oops, just dropped my card. We are streaming live on Ustream, so you're going to run over to ustream.tv. Our profile is Vegas Rock Dog. Thank you. And our channel is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. So we are live today. I have guests in the studio. It's going to be a really exciting show today, a very informative show, and I hope a lot of people will get on board. So the Facebook page is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. What are you clanging around there? It's like a big gong. Like, time's up, Sam. You're done. Facebook is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Our Twitter account is Vegas Rock Dog Show. No W at the end. Our Twitter account for Vegas Rock Dog, our clothing, is Vegas Rock Dog. There you go, really easy. Our call-in today is 702-483-4444. That means you're in Las Vegas if you're calling us. And you're going to listen, you can listen live right now through VegasAllNetRadio.com. So you can find the show in many, many ways and many avenues. Our Instagram account, I've been a little bit lax recently, been very busy, but the Instagram account is Vegas Rock Dog, and let's say you can pick up your rock and roll clothing for you and your hip dog at VegasRockDog.com. The blog, lots of stuff's going to be happening on the blog in the next couple of weeks. The rockandrolldog.com. I've got tons of reviews to do, and with those reviews come giveaways, and we all love a giveaway. We always have good stuff too. Always have good stuff. So I want you to go to the rockandrolldog.com, and you can actually follow my blog, and that makes it a little bit easier, so you can be notified when new posts go up. Google Plus, you're going to find me at Sam Ratcliffe, and my main website just for me, because sometimes when people ask you what you do, it's kind of impossible because you do a lot of stuff that's all related. You can just go to SamanthaRatcliffe.com, and you can find all the information on there. So I want to start the show this week with a tip of the week, and tip of the week this week is remember to rotate your pets' toys. They get bored with them. If you keep the same toy, Chris is going, ooh, okay. My dogs have a ridiculous amount of toys, but we do rotate them so that they keep stimulated. They get excited when they haven't seen a past toy for a while. They go, oh, it came back. But it also gives you a chance to, one, inspect the toys, which is really important because, if they're chewing pieces off them and, they're damaged, they can be really dangerous. They can be a choking hazard, or, they can have sharp sides on them and stuff. So you want to make sure they're really, really safe. And also, that's a good chance to wash them. People forget to wash their dog's toys. That's gross. So, they're on the floor. Like Mr. Twix, my little boy, he likes to lay in the dirt, belly on the dirt. That's where he likes to be, and he takes his toys out there. He takes my clothes out there. I have a skirt on the patio right now that he just took out the hamper. He just took it. Off he went running. But yeah, covered in dirt and gross. So make sure you rotate your pet's toys, give them a wash, check them to make sure they're safe, and of course, if they're not in good shape, toss them, get rid of them, and be careful not to buy toys from China because a lot of those plastics are very, very toxic. So that is my tip of the day. So let me tell you a little bit about our guests today. And it's not very often that you hear the word dolphins or dolphin and desert in the same sentence. But you're going to hear it a few times today, and as we discuss both of those things, you're going to understand why they should never be mentioned in the same sentence. I've really been looking forward to this interview for a couple of weeks now, and I'd like to welcome Shelley Ray, I would like to welcome Cecilia Mylon and Jim Morris. Thank you for coming to the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Right, so you want to pull your mics a little bit closer? There you go. You want to be a little closer than that, Sean. Just pull that thing up. Make it work for you. You'll be the boss of the microphone today. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I think it's really important that you get a voice in town. And as we found with lots of movements in town, even people that grew up here, don't know some of the issues that are happening in town. And you would think they would kind of have their finger on the pulse too, having grown up here, but it's not the case, is it?
No.
It's like, it's so much work. But it's worthwhile work, that's for sure. First of all, let's start off by telling everybody where they can find your group. The group is called Free the Mojave Dolphins from the Mirage Hotel. So even that's a weird sentence, isn't it, in itself. How do we find you on the internet?
You can go to facebook.com/Las Vegas Dolphins. You can follow us on Twitter at Vegas Dolphins. We also have a YouTube channel, and the username is Mojave Dolphins.
Right.
And an Instagram, which is also called Mojave Dolphins.
Perfect. I'm telling you now that you just have to spread yourself as far as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Even though it's a lot of work, it's actually worth doing, So have you built your website yet? Because I was the one that gave you that suggestion. Remember?
No, we haven't built a website yet. We're working on it.
I'm one of those people that's like, just get on it, I built one for my friend, and we literally sat for 8 hours. And we just banged it out, and it was exhausting, but we're like, it's done, and it was done in a day. So you might want to do something like that, hole up in a great coffee shop somewhere, or a wine bar.
No, we're still trying to get the handle on everything. Shelley started this group like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, because it's very, very new, isn't it?
Yeah.
What made you want to start this group, Shelley?
Well, the dolphin group in Vegas, I had taken a trip to Las Vegas, and I remembered that we had dolphins here, and it was right after I'd just gotten into cetacean activism, and I researched on the internet, and there wasn't really any groups in Las Vegas doing anything for these dolphins.
Now, where were you living at the time?
Orange County.
Oh, okay, so you weren't even living here.
No, I wasn't living
But
here.
you had this awareness of what was going on in town.
So I decided to try and start a page and raise awareness about them here.
And it was as simple as that.
And she moved here.
And then you moved here. I know, it's a massive commitment. I don't know many people who do that.
No.
And I think it's quite incredible, and I think that says a lot about your integrity and your what you believe in,
Thank you.
So let's tell people what the group is and why you started this group.
Well, we basically Shelley started the group to kind of spread awareness. I came on board maybe like a year ago.
Okay.
I had no idea about how dolphins suffered in captivity until I had seen a movie.
Blackfish? No, it was the Cove.
It was the Cove.
It was the Cove, yeah.
So the Cove kind of exposes Japan for the dolphin slaughters that happened, but mainly how it's linked to the captivity industry. So then I just started reading a ton of books and just enlightening myself and being awoken that these animals suffer tremendously in captivity. So we kind of joined forces and gained some major momentum because we've got, a lot of support.
And I think
groups.
I think what we'll be able to achieve today is, one, tell people that we have dolphins here at the Mirage Hotel. Is that the only hotel that has dolphins?
It is. I think it's the only facility in Nevada that has dolphins.
Okay. So what were your biggest concerns about the dolphins that were living? Well, first of all, like you say, dolphins don't do well in captivity, period. It doesn't matter whether in Vegas or anywhere else.
And absolutely. I mean, they don't do well in captivity anywhere, but this is the Mojave Desert.
Yes,
and they're thousands of miles away from their natural environment.
And it's just a different level.
No humidity.
It's rough for
extreme
us.
Temperatures, yeah.
Yeah, it's rough for us, and we can seek shade. We can go inside air conditioning.
Right.
Yeah, I've lived here a long time, and every year I'm like, it gets harder and harder,
Right.
But like I say, I have choices.
But dolphins in the wild, people don't understand. Like, they're in the wild, they don't have shade. Well, they have the depths of the ocean.
Because they
get away.
They get sunburnt, don't they?
Absolutely.
In captivity, yes.
Yeah. And so, how many dolphins does when did the dolphin program even start at the Mirage?
October 1990.
So it's been here a long time.
24 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have the worst track record when it comes to deaths.
Health and death.
Like death rates. So I think there's like
what's the death rate currently?
There's been 12 dolphins that have died within the facility.
In
12 out of 24.
Wow.
Well, actually, it might have been more than that.
That's more than
That's
half
what
of
they've
them.
documented.
That's
is
what they've
12.
documented.
Okay.
We can't get it completely accurate because dolphin captivity wasn't ever really recorded up until like just maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, so you can only go back
You can only,
so far with history.
So it's between 59% and 75%. We're being
not good.
reasonable by saying 59%.
Wow, that's horrific. Now, who owns those dolphins?
The MGM.
So they own them. They're not on loan, or are they? Or
There's
did
a
they,
few that are on loan.
Okay, so you've got a combination of ones that are owned, and I guess they're classed as property, yeah? Just as dogs and cats are here? I don't
Good question. I mean, I would imagine that they are.
I think they probably are. They probably fall into that same category
Right.
as cats and dogs do. They're your property.
Well, they don't have, they absolutely don't have any kind of rights or non-human rights, I think.
Which doesn't help, does it? You know, it really doesn't help. So, so there's a combination of they own them and they loan them. Who do they loan them from?
There's 3 of them from SeaWorld right now. There's one from each SeaWorld park in America, and there's another one from Gulf World in Florida.
Wow. So I've been following you for a long time. I think you do incredible documentation.
Thank you.
She's awesome.
Really incredible documentation. And I think I like how you approach, how you put the documentation out, because I don't see, because you do see with a lot of groups, tons of bashing, and it's just hard to make progress, you know, and I think you always get labeled with, like, be radical, you know.
Although I try to stay away from being that way. We want to be rational.
And you do feel very angry because when you see it, you're like, this is so unnecessary, you know. But I think that public persona is really important, you know, to getting people on board and saying, you know, I want to support these people. But I think your documentation is amazing. A lot of detail.
It's very factual.
Very factual.
So we try to stay factual.
And I think that is super important.
It's a very emotional campaign.
It cannot be easy. It cannot be easy going down there. I could never go into the MGM when the lions were there. I just couldn't. It would just ruin a day. You know, when I first saw them, I was just like, what? I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was so small, that area. And I thought, wow.
That's what's so sad, kind of, when we do go in there to document the dolphins. You know, we see all these paying patrons who are smiling and happy, and they think that these dolphins look so happy, but, you know,
tell people about the dolphin smile, because I think that's probably the saddest part about them.
The dolphin smile is the biggest misconception.
Yeah.
It's a part of their anatomy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they look like they're smiling even when they're being...
And having a great time the whole time.
Even when they're being killed in Japan.
They're smiling. Yeah.
Right. So people think that they're happy, but when you start looking closely,
there's pain.
There's very obvious signs of stress.
Yeah.
Extreme stress.
Now, I know that they've got, is it pox, this skin thing that's going on? What causes that?
So pox virus is a skin disease that happens in the wild and in captivity.
Okay.
Think of it kind of like chicken pox.
Okay.
Okay. So most of the time, dolphins will get this as young dolphins.
Right.
Like we would.
Yeah.
And by the time they're older, their immunity has been, you know...
compromised. It gets weaker.
Well, it gets better, so they can fight things off. You know,
I'm with
in the
you.
Wild.
Yes, in the wild, yes.
Right. But because these animals are in captivity, they don't have the immunity.
Yeah, because they're not living in that balanced environment, are they?
Right.
That they need.
And so they'll contract it. We have a feeling that they've contracted it from SeaWorld dolphins.
I was going to ask you, is this something, I think when they transport them, that can come from one dolphin
It's
to
all
next?
over the captive
So
industry.
they could be, so it's a little bit like my dad used to be a carrier of everything.
Right.
He never really got sick of anything, but he would pass everything on to us,
right.
you know.
But, you know, just like chicken pox, it will go away and you're fine and you're immune to it for the rest of your life. Well, in this case... it's not going away because they're highly stressed.
Highly stressed out.
And the salinity levels of the water are a factor as well.
Do they have true professionals on board that know what that water should be?
I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of research on this disease.
Right.
And there just isn't a whole lot of research done on this disease in captive dolphins. Most of the research is done on wild dolphins.
And it's
so
a whole different story, isn't it?
So the vets here, the Mirage does not have a full-time vet.
I was going to ask you that. And do they specialize in dolphins?
Well, we're looking into, I got the name of the vet yesterday.
Okay.
We're looking into his credentials. I mean, this vet is probably, and this is what they're allowed to do through the USDA, is they don't have to have a full-time vet on board, even when their animals are obviously sick. Right.
Full-time.
They don't have a full-time vet. They have a guy that's on call.
So he's not even there like part-time, so it's an on-call situation.
So you've got these animals that have these skin lesions that aren't going away. And they're not going into remission.
I mean, think about your own pets, yeah?
Right.
You know your pets so well because you're with them all the time. So
Right.
when something's off, you instantly spot it. But if you're not there, how do you see this? You don't see this until I guess it gets so bad and it's really visual.
It's so obvious. Even the educators, well, what they call themselves educators at the Mirage.
That's going to be my next question.
They'll even say, like, look at Maverick. You'll notice Maverick has
He's
spots.
loads of spots.
Like it's a plus.
Like it's totally normal.
Normal.
And this Maverick is not a young dolphin. Maverick is what, 11 years
11
old?
years old.
That's heartbreaking.
So
He's had
an
the condition
11-year-old
for at least 2 years that we've seen. Maybe longer
So a
than
disease that would normally go away in the wild
Yeah.
pretty quickly. No big deal.
In a balanced environment.
In a balanced environment.
where they get to eat properly. Because, I mean, they're eating dead fish, yeah?
Yeah.
frozen fish, yeah.
Yeah,
Dead frozen
they're not
fish.
eating. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's two very different environments. And
It's-
there's no way you can expect them to recover.
Anyone
well.
that knows marine life or follows Jacques Cousteau
Yes.
or watched anything, I mean, I think there's a quote that he says that any dolphin that you see in captivity is nothing. There's nothing natural about it.
And it's not, it's nowhere near thriving.
Right.
It's just nowhere near thriving. I mean, like you were saying, I mean, they swim, between 40 and 80 miles a day? Is that right?
In the wild, yes.
In the wild.
Mm-hmm.
How can you do that? How big is that pool? Because that pool looks small to
They've
me.
got 3 pools.
Yeah.
They have the center pool is very small.
And how big is that? I mean, how many humans could you fit in there?
Well,
Probably not that
let's
many.
just say my backyard pool is about the same size as
No
that center
way.
pool. I could put dolphins in my backyard pool if I legally I
It
could
would be
probably
okay.
do that if I were to just hand out brochures and make it educational.
Good Lord.
Charge my neighbors to come in and see my 2 dolphins because my
Good
pool is large
Lord.
enough. Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's the center pool.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the other 2 pools then? And what are they using them for? If
They keep them all separated kind of because they don't want them mating, you know, and
I'm
so
surprised they don't.
Well,
they
want
kind
them
of do, but on their time.
on their time.
Oh, so they decide when they're going to mate.
Yeah.
Okay. So they lose some interaction with each other. Are dolphins a little bit like whales? You know, where different pods have slightly different languages, and it's hard for them to communicate, or do they have a universal language?
No, they don't have a universal language.
Okay.
But whales are, gosh, that's a really vague. It's just a really vague species. You know, dolphins are a subspecies of whale.
Yeah.
It's cetaceans. Each little subspecies of dolphins have completely different
dialects from each
dialects
other.
and social structures.
Same
like,
thing.
you know, the orcas at SeaWorld,
So how?
they're run by a matriarch. So the matriarch, the orca, killer
Yeah.
whale at SeaWorld, in the wild,
and they all stay together, don't they? They never leave.
and the sons stay with their mothers. They're
Yes.
ultimate mama's boys
Yes,
for life.
For life. That's
For
right.
life.
That's why it's so tragic.
That's the tragedy because you've got them separating them at SeaWorld and you've got them transporting them, taking their babies away and moving them off to this park and that park. And you can, you know, if you've seen Blackfish, you see
Yes.
the mothers just like crying. You can just see like it's so obviously
it's
grieving.
unbelievable.
Right.
I think if people just hearing these things said, okay, you know, so say that we were doing this to humans, would this be acceptable?
Oh, absolutely.
It
not.
wouldn't, and so it's not acceptable for animals either.
It
just
would be.
isn't.
It would be like saying it's okay. You know, yes, the wild is this big old dangerous place for these animals,
Right.
and you know it's so
Stay
dangerous.
inside.
They
And
have
they're-
no natural instinct to
but that's
to
like
survive.
me. That's like me saying my 3-year-old would be much safer in his room his entire life.
Life,
Right.
exactly.
It's the same thing.
It's crazy when you think about it.
It's just to keep him protected.
so-
Like that would be my justification because the big bad outside of his room would be just too
the
dangerous.
protected
for him.
yet the victims.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, let's protect the victims, you know. So you've got these 3 pools. They're using them one to separate them. So they're losing some interaction anyway.
Yeah.
They seem like a very sociable animal. Is that the case?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're...
No, their whole life. Dolphins are basically
Probably one of
Voc-
the most social creatures.
they have this extra cortex of their brain.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so like you've got the human brain.
Yep.
And then you compare it to a dolphin brain, and they've got this cerebral cortex that's 40% larger than ours. We have no idea what it does. We think it's for emotional processing.
Well, I know that they have a big emotional component, don't
They're
they, to them?
possibly more emotionally complex
than we are.
We are. There's no way we could even understand or comprehend the level of their emotional capacity.
You know, they're such a lovely animal, aren't they? I
They're
mean, you
so
never hear
interesting.
anyone
They're
say,
like magnificent
you never hear anyone
animals.
say, I hate dolphins. Or,
Well, I don't know. Some people
oh, they're ugly.
I've heard ones
We
recently.
protest at the Mirage all the time. We get crazy comments sometimes.
Well, you know a lot of those people walking down a boulevard have had a few cocktails.
Yeah, you're right.
Craziest is they think we're protesting the dolphin statues that are behind us on the
No
sidewalk.
way!
Yeah, they remind us all the time that those dolphins aren't real. They're statues. We're like, really?
Take those statues down! You're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I say, a lot of people drink a lot on the strip in Las Vegas as they're
Well,
walking
you know
by.
what? Fishermen don't like dolphins
Why do they not like them?
because they eat their fish.
Because they eat their fish. Okay.
Because we overfish.
Right.
And of course, we'd have no one else to blame but the dolphins. We can't blame ourselves.
How can you
because
blame a dolphin?
The
That's
humans
so
are
wrong, isn't it?
overfishing, right? It's the dolphins.
It's the dolphins. How dare they be
Right.
hungry and eat fish to survive on the planet?
Right.
that is
Stop
theirs.
taking all of our fish, you darn dolphins.
Goodness me. You know what? It's good to have a laugh, though, isn't it, on some level? Because it's such a serious subject.
We have to
You've got to
stay-
have a balance somehow.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, Shelley and I are part of this huge network of people. Like, you know, and we don't have a huge following locally, but we have a very large following from all over the world.
We need a bigger following.
but we need more local people.
Yes.
We need more Vegas people.
Vegas people, we're here. They're here. You know, that's terrible that we've got a bigger supporters, you know, outside of the state lines. That's crazy. Yeah, come on, Vegas, step it up. Because here's the thing. I think if you're a true animal lover, it's about all animals.
Absolutely.
It's not just about cats. And yeah, of course you have your favorites. I mean, I love dogs. You know, everybody knows that. But I do love all animals, you know, and I would
too.
never want to see harm to come to any animal whatsoever. And you want to see animals thrive in their natural environment. You just do,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about that when we come back, because do they really need to go to see them in a hotel, in a shopping mall in Canada, in, you know, SeaWorld? Because we're going to tell you how else you should go and see these dolphins, and it would make so much more sense. Let's take a quick break, Chris. Let's listen to some words from our sponsors. We're going to be right back listening to Vegas Rock Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome. Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
It's dinner time in America, where more pet parents trust PetSmart for natural and expert recommended foods than any place else. And now, we've added more than 100 new varieties to our already wide selection of your favorite brands, like Simply Nourish, Authority, Wellness, Science Diet, and more. Do what's best for your pet. At PetSmart, happiness in store.
Go to PetSmartDeal.com to find out this week's coupon code and save up to 30% on food, treats, toys, and more. And get free shipping on orders of $49. Go to PetSmartDeal.com. PetSmartDeal.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Now, let's return to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Here again, your host, the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Okay, and we're right back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And my guests today are Shelley Rigg, Cecilia Mylon, and Jim Morris of Free the Mojave Dolphins from the Mirage Hotel. What we're talking about today is why dolphins do not do well in captivity, so it's not a place for them, and the big concerns that they have, particularly here in Las Vegas, and we think we've got the only dolphins in Nevada actually here that are at the Mirage Hotel, and they're not doing very, very well, and we want to shed a light on this and get people to understand why this is not the best way to go and see dolphins. So here's the thing. How much is it to go and see the dolphins? Do you know?
Like $15 to $20, depending on if you're a local or a tourist. And that's to just go in the back and look at the dolphins.
And just look.
Yeah.
So they have another program, like be a trainer for a day?
Yeah, it's about depending on the time of the year, anywhere from $500 to $700.
So this is a big chunk of revenue that comes in, you know,
and they
on
have
these dolphins.
a couple other programs. A behind-the-scenes tour, that's $200.
Wow.
The dolphin will paint you a picture for another $200.
Yeah, I saw that. Don't like that.
And yoga with the dolphins.
Don't like that. I'm one of those. I don't want to see animals doing tricks. I don't want to see any of that. I want them to be themselves, you know.
Absolutely.
So how much is it, for example, to be down in California, the beach, and go and see dolphins? You know?
I just recently came back from Florida.
Okay.
I'm from Atlanta, so Florida is where I go to the beach.
Right.
And so I actually chartered a boat.
Yeah, you chartered a boat. You see,
Chartered a boat, and I'll tell you, like, we had maybe 11 people with us. This boat could carry 22 people.
Okay.
I chartered it because I wanted an intimate experience with just my family.
Yeah.
But it was under $300.
There you go. That's your solution. So whenever people
But I mean, when you say $300 sounds a lot, but when you say like for
I can get 22 people on there.
people,
Yeah. And you've got people paying $500 to $700, one person be a trainer for a day. Right.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. I think what the argument is, and I've said this before, but when my kid wants to see a dolphin, well, you know what? You're going to have a much better experience. You'll see them in the natural habitat. They will be very, very healthy, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg.
these dolphins came right up to our boat on their own terms.
And it would be such an experience.
We had no fish to feed them. We had nothing.
Right.
And they just came right up to us, blowing rings out of their blowholes
Oh,
and
you
flipping around. And
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
And that's how you want to see them. So when everybody says, you know, but my kid will never get a chance to see a dolphin, come on, I think most of us...
But your kid has an appreciation for dinosaurs, and they never seen a
That's
dinosaur.
what I say all the time.
You know?
They're never going to see a dinosaur, people.
Right, or a snow leopard,
But they
or
have
any
an
other extinct animal.
We have an amazing connection with animals, you know, through learning about them. And we don't want kids growing up thinking, when you ask them, where do dolphins live? Oh, they live in hotels. They live in, you know, tiny bathtubs, you know.
Yeah, they jump through flames of fire. Fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, because, you know, we ask kids, you know, where certain vegetables come from, you know, and they think they come from the supermarket, you know. So we've got, there's a bigger educational component.
I'm a recent mother. Well, my son is 3 years old, and what I found is that as a parent, it's your responsibility to teach them about where vegetables come from or where animals should be living.
Do live, yes.
And if you're not doing that and you're waiting for society to teach them that, it's not going to be the correct way, unfortunately.
And I think we've got to start. We've really got to start now. Because I feel like the States is so behind with animal welfare. Like in England, we don't have circuses of animals.
I know, and you don't have dolphins in England either.
I don't think we do.
No captive dolphins at all.
Yeah, I can't. I
In
don't.
the UK.
People wouldn't stand for it. You know. I mean, when I talk to my friends and family, they're like, "What? This is so."
I know. I have friends in the UK as well, and
just
they're
so-
just like so surprised how far behind we are when it comes to that.
It's very behind. It's very, very behind.
But you know what I think it is? It's the United States is just so large.
Yeah.
You know, you compare it to small European countries, and it's just going to take longer because
It will do.
It's just you have to get us all united
to get the message out. It really, really is. And like I said, you know, there is an alternative to going to see them, you know, or go to see whales in Alaska. I worked in Alaska. It's spectacular to see them in their natural environment. It really, really is. So when we talk about education, we do know that Clark County have... How often do they send classes to...
We're not sure, like, of the specifics, but I know that Clark County does send children that are kindergarten through 8th grade to the Dolphins.
Okay, now 8th grade, that's a whole English thing I don't understand here. What age is that, 8th grade?
I'd say maybe like 13, 14.
These are very crucial learning years. You know, so have you had any opportunity to be able to meet with the school district?
They just got a new superintendent, I think, just a few months ago. I've got his name, and I'd like to meet with him.
Yeah.
I've got a presentation, too, that I've put together to hopefully get into the schools and make presentations to the schools.
I think it is that connection that's super important, because I think it's very easy to throw stones at windows and, you know, do it from afar, because the whole point is... they're not perfect, we know that, but sometimes we'd rather take progress over perfection sometimes. Yeah. Do you have a relationship with the Mirage people in any way or form?
We have a dialogue with the PR woman.
Okay, so that's a good start. I mean, a really good start, because here's the thing. It's not hard to do the right thing.
Right.
You know, and they've got the money to do it.
Yep.
You know, so we know they don't have any shade over there.
They don't have any shade structures.
Yeah.
So they've got 3 pools, and one pool has got shade for most of the day.
Okay.
And the center pool and the rear pool have absolutely no shade for these dolphins between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m.
And it's brutal. It
The hottest time of the day.
Yeah, it gets so hot towards 5 p.m. here. I mean, it's just brutal.
Absolutely no shade. When you go in there, they're baking, literally baking in the sun.
And how deep is that pool? Because it's not like they can get away from the sun, can they?
I'm pretty sure we have the building plans. It's 14 feet. An average of 14 feet. 12 feet. I think it's 12. Is it 12 feet in the center and then 15 feet in the center and 12 feet
Something
towards
like
the outside.
That kind of blows my mind.
Average
a
of
little
14.
bit.
And then, you know, we've got this brochure that they hand out. They say that their tanks are 24 feet.
You see, now that
It's a blatant lie.
and the thing is, it's like just do the right thing, because
They have all the money in the world.
They
This is MGM.
to fix this,
Right.
And like you say, they may not have been that well, educated 25 years ago,
Right.
but there's so much education about
Well,
it now.
what they try to say is that they're in regulation of the USDA. Okay, so all of these captive facilities all over the country are monitored by the USDA,
Yeah, I
the
know.
government, right? Animal Welfare Act.
And they don't have enough inspectors. I know that for a fact. They can't inspect puppy
the
mills or
marine mammal section has not been modified to display current research on these dolphins in 20 years.
gosh.
So actually, there is a violation. There's a law, an animal welfare law that states they should be providing shade.
Yeah.
Why they're not being cited for it during the inspections, I have no clue. It's the MGM.
Yeah, it's a big organization. But here's the thing, like you say, is it worth going down that path of not doing the right thing, having this a terrible reputation, when with the money that's available, they can fix it? I mean,
we've even had organizations call and offer them the money.
and they still haven't taken it up on that.
Yeah.
Is there an acknowledgement? There's no acknowledgement, or is there acknowledgement?
You know, we get really inconsistent responses
Okay.
back. We get, sometimes they say they're looking into shade structures. Sometimes they say they're,
There's
talking
adequate
to
shade already.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, then they say it's adequate shade. We're getting really.
based on whose opinion?
I don't know.
You see, I don't understand why they wouldn't say, we're the only facility in Nevada, and we boast this amazing pool, we boast this amazing we have this incredible veterinarian that comes on board, this marine veterinarian. Why would you not make that and it's still not going to be, they still shouldn't be there, but why not keep it better?
They have these, as patrons walk in, they've got misters for the patrons, for people, but no misters for the dolphins. And they've got barely shade there for the patrons. So when you're out there in the middle of the day,
It's hot when I'm
people
there.
are like, are cramped up underneath the areas that do have
And
shade.
it's concrete around, isn't it? Yeah.
And they have maybe a few umbrellas.
so it's even hotter than you can imagine.
They could make that facility so much more bearable for those dolphins. They just choose not to.
Have you in any way been able to get close to the big guy at
Jim
Mirage?
So Jim Moran is the CEO of MGM. We've mailed him, FedExed him, emailed him. Every response we get is from the PR woman.
Yeah, it's a shame. That is such a shame.
I'm
Because
pretty
sometimes
sure he's filtered.
Because sometimes,
I don't think he knows.
they're
Keeping everything.
gatekeepers.
Right, they're keeping everything from
They
him. I hear this
decide-
guy, Jim Moran, is a really good guy.
Because here's the thing: if he doesn't know, then he finds out. What's he going to say? Like, are you really? Now we've got this, this reputation now that we probably could have fixed some things,
Right. Yeah.
We need to find someone who knows Jim Moran. If you know anyone who's
Call us now if you do.
who's friends with Jim Moran at the MGM, Mirage, because that's how you get things done. You have to go to
I've
the
read
top.
great things about this guy. He
Right.
does really good things for the community. If he knew,
Yeah.
if we could just have a meeting with him.
Yes, somebody. I have to start asking around. I really need to start asking around for you, because that would be your key to really getting things done.
I think absolutely he's the decision maker.
And the thing is, PR departments are there to make your business or your establishment look great. And so there can be a lot of spin,
Right.
to make it look great and hide things. And that's not the right
They
person.
can't get away with it anymore.
They were
Yeah.
chasing their tail. She started with personalized responses to everybody that emailed her, and now you get a generic
A
response
stopped
first.
response.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let me tell you something. It's much harder to spin a real nightmare once you've let it go down that path.
Right.
You know, when it's become a runaway train, it's really hard to stop it, you know.
Right.
And I think addressing it in the beginning would have been their best, in the best interest, you
You
know.
know, it's like SeaWorld. Okay, so there's this huge movement now for cetacean rights since Blackfish came out last year.
It's been incredible, hasn't it? I
Yeah.
have friends who were going that week.
Yeah.
Watched the movie, cancelled.
Never again.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was like, no idea. It's been an amazing movie. For
I don't
that.
think the Mirage is prepared for
What the reaction.
I think Blackfish has been viewed 26 million times.
How many times?
Yes. CNN aired it. It's on Netflix for free. It's like
is it on there
everywhere.
for free?
You can
I'm
get it
gonna
on
promote
iTunes.
that.
You can get it
That's
on
amazing.
Amazon. You can get it. It's everywhere. 26 million people. So there's this huge group of growing awareness
That's
to
incredible.
the plight of captive animal like dolphins in
Yeah.
these facilities. And I don't think the PR woman was ready for the
I bet it was like, what? I bet it was just a deluge of emails, I am sure, you know, phone calls. As I say, it's not hard to do the right thing, particularly when we got the money, you know, and how about you know, decide to go the opposite direction instead of saying, oh, we're perfect, we're great, everything's fine. And actually say, you know what, we boast this. We've got the best veterinarian on board, you know, that lives at the hotel.
And unlike the other captive facilities, the Mirage doesn't rely solely on these animals to make their money. They're making money on their casino floor. They're making money through their hotel. The animals are really just there to maybe get people to stay a little bit longer.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's entertainment.
But you're on the Strip, and everyone else is changing their ways. This dolphin facility's been there 24 years. You know they could
that
do
it's
something.
gonna change
time,
It's time to let the dolphins go, put them in a sea pen, give them a better life.
That's right.
Put some cool 7D,
argument
projectors thing there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
People would come from all over the world to see like 3D dolphins.
Yeah, it could be like and the history of them being there,
Yes.
you know. So yeah, I agree. I think it's a much better place to go. Particularly they don't rely on that money, you know, to keep that place running.
Yeah, it's not the same as like a SeaWorld where their whole life are those
It's on
orcas,
Shamu.
you know.
Yeah. Now they, I heard they're displaying some really disturbing kind of behaviours because they're so stressed out. You know, are they? How are they interacting with each other when they do get a chance to interact with each other?
The dolphins at the Mirage.
We've recorded them showing signs of aggression. We've seen them attack each other, chase each other around the pool.
They have what they call rake marks. So, like, if you look at the top of a dolphin sometime, you'll see what they call rake marks.
Because the orcas do it too, don't they?
It's
to each other.
yes, it's they're biting each other on the back.
Yeah, they just scrape all the way
Because
down.
they've got a
don't
pecking order.
Yeah.
Just like horses in the wild,
Yeah.
there's a hierarchy, and you've got the matriarch, and you've got alphas and submissives, and
And you know, they're stressed out, they're frustrated. Think about yourself if you don't get to the gym. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're like, I need to get to the gym. It really helps me, you know, de-stress.
They don't
you know,
have
you don't
that.
get to exercise.
But in the wild, they're able to get away from people they don't, other dolphins they don't like.
They have an option.
You know, we're human beings. We don't like everybody, but we have the opportunity to say we don't want to be close to you.
That's
you can
right.
go away.
That's right.
They don't have the choice to do that.
Wow. Hey, Chris, you know what? Let's take another break because we could be over 2 hours on this one quite easily. We will have you back on again, absolutely,
Okay.
because I think your work is amazing. You're so well researched. We're going to listen to a few words from our sponsors. We'll be right back and listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. And me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Dogs leave fur wherever they go. It collects all over the home. There are many tools designed to stop dog hair spreading, but their effectiveness varies, and afterwards you have to clean the tool, then the floor. With the Dyson Groom Tool, you simply deploy the bristles, then gently brush the coat. Loose fur is removed, while dead skin and allergens are captured by the vacuum. And to clean up, you simply release the trigger.
To get this awesome Dyson Groom Tool, go to DysonDeals.com. That's DysonDeals.com.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's All Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets.
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
This is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Vegas Rock Dog Radio. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now let's bring back the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Seth.
Okay, and we're back. We are Vegas Rock Dog Radio. And we are we are talking to the wonderful group here from the Free the Mojave Dolphins, from the Mirage Hotel, Shelley Ray, Cecilia Milon, and Jim Morris. Jim's very quiet over there. Give us a hello, Jim.
Hello.
Oh, you've got a great voice.
I provide mostly, Cecilia and Shelley are the ones who do most of the work in the way of research, PR, communications, internet, and all of that stuff. I'm mostly I'm a body at the protests. I stand in the sun. I hold signs.
It's important, and you tell people that you're not protesting about bronze statues of dolphins. Is that
yes,
crazy?
We really do. That is true. We do have to tell. Usually, that's the first comment we receive when we go out is, those dolphins aren't real, right?
You're like, no way. I must have been drinking as much as you.
Like, pack it up. Let's go home, guys.
Exactly. Like,
job's done.
Our work is done. No more to do.
The dolphins have turned into statues. We're done.
I think what places like SeaWorld and the Mirage and I think what they teach people is that dominance is okay over animals.
Absolutely.
And it's not okay. There's so much new training for dogs. It's not about dominance. It's not about pack leader. Because here's the thing. Humans would never be recognized as a pack leader anyway. And they're saying there's not a lot of research to say that dogs are really in packs. Wolves, yes. I'm not going to know they do, come from that. But they're saying, even if there was a pack, they're not looking at the human and going, you're the leader.
Right.
That's not natural. It makes no sense. It's not part of their instincts, and their makeup, so what they've done with a lot of the new training, it's positive reinforcement. It's not about dominance, and dominance is just not good over animals. It's just not, make them do things that aren't natural. I mean, it's just not natural. I mean, like you say, jumping through hoops of fire and listening to music, that blasts all the way through these pools, and the amplification of that must be horrible.
Thankfully, the Mirage doesn't blast music or have fireworks that often. I mean, they still do fireworks on 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
And the only music is coming from the surrounding people's swimming pools.
Right.
And there's a lot of pollution down there. I mean,
it's right by the freeway, too.
Yeah, I mean,
all those lesions that they have on their skin, it's from the environment.
Yeah.
It's stress. It's a combination of stress. What kind
of training do these trainers have?
Absolutely none.
Okay, because I thought it was a little bit like SeaWorld, where I think one of the tests was, can you swim to the bottom and pick up a brick?
You have to be scuba dive certified. That's it.
And a personality, I'm sure.
Well, that's all they say.
It's showbiz.
Yeah.
It's showbiz. And I'm sure for a lot of people, they think it's a dream job. Hey, I'm working with dolphins, and I get to be a bit of a celebrity.
But, I'm going to be real with you. I had never visited SeaWorld before, but I always had a love for dolphins, and I never thought there was a problem with going to see them in captivity.
Right.
I never did as a child.
I think
I never saw there was a problem until
we don't see beyond that.
I was educated.
And they tell you they're enjoying what they're doing.
So there's not a problem if you're still going. If you just went to the Mirage last week and you're listening to the show,
don't feel bad.
And you're feeling bad about it and feeling guilty, don't. Just
you didn't know what you didn't know.
Right? You were you were ignorant, and you're allowed to play that card.
Yeah, one time.
Right. But now you're educated.
Now you're educated.
Right.
Like my friend said, we were taking the kids down there because we were shocked and disgusted, and we cancelled. We didn't go. And like I say, you get the one-time deal. When you know better, you do better, or you should do better.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's. I think we've all been there, with animal issues. Like, I had no idea. Or, like, I had friends who were eating foie gras. Like, what? Do you know what that is? And then we tell them, like, I cannot believe that I ate that, not know. But, once you know better, you do better. And that's what you should always, strive to do.
But another cool thing when you're saying that is I recently became vegan as well last year.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And it wasn't because I did a lot of research on the dolphins. Obviously, we don't eat dolphin here.
Yeah.
But just basically you have an appreciation for all of these animals. And one of the cool things that, animal research over the past 30 years has become, there really wasn't that much research being done on animals 30, 40 years ago.
I know. It wasn't that long ago.
So we know a lot more about these animals now.
Yeah.
And I think there's only a few that are even proven to be self-aware. Do you know what self-aware is?
What do you mean by that, then?
Okay, so self-aware means that you and I, humans, can look into a mirror and recognize ourselves as an individual.
Okay.
Which gives us empathy. That we know that you are a different individual and that you have different feelings.
Okay.
Think about like us having this empathy.
Right.
But there's only 5 species in the whole world that are known to have this characteristic.
Wow, didn't know this.
You've got humans.
Yep.
Elephants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins.
Yeah.
Magpies, which are crows.
I didn't know that.
And the great apes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually familiar with the magpie experiment where they showed them, put a dot on them in the mirror, and the birds try to get the dot off themselves, so they knew it was...
You know, babies, like human babies, don't even have this until they're about 1.5 to 2 years old.
Until they develop. Wow. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
So, like you said then, but then there's a perception, isn't there, of what's happening around them, too.
Right.
And the people, yeah.
But I mean, then you got to think like, okay, are they doing these studies on cows and pigs? I hope they are.
Yeah.
Because I know pigs are super intelligent.
Yes, they are. We had Mr. Elliot in the studio,
I know.
70-pound pot-belly pig a couple of weeks ago.
God.
Loved him.
Yeah.
Such a great connection. I mean,
And when you watch
amazing
these documentaries about the crows, I mean, you look at birds a completely different way. You know, like not just crows. I mean, it's like, wow, that bird has the capacity to do that.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. You know what? We're talking about, you know, of course, like you said, we don't eat dolphins here and stuff, but that leads us into The Cove, the movie The Cove.
Right.
And for anyone that doesn't know, has it stopped right now?
No. It's never stopped.
Was it held?
It never stopped.
So did they lie about that when they said it wasn't going to happen? Or was it like a PR stunt, you know, kind of thing?
Okay, so The Cove exposes Taiji, Japan for...
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll do it really quick.
Yeah.
So... Taiji, Japan is this tiny, tiny, tiny little fishing town that still kills thousands of dolphins every year. They do have a hunting season. It starts September 1st. It goes through March or April of the next year.
It's a long time, isn't it?
They kill these dolphins for meat. But what really drives the industry is the pretty ones that they take to be held captive and sold all over the world to go into aquariums.
Yeah, it's beyond food, isn't it? It's beyond the delicacy, as they like to call it. And
Yeah,
so that's
the
when
money comes from the captive
and that's
industry.
when they take the young females. That's correct, isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah. So, and obviously, you know, and here's the thing, that just takes the balance out of the ocean too.
They're killing the species off.
Yeah,
They're
that's-
killing our dolphins.
Yeah.
They're not theirs.
They're not theirs.
They're ours.
So you've got the Cove movie coming into town. What date is it coming in?
So yes, the star of the movie, Rick O'Barry. So this movie, The Cove, won an Oscar back in 2010. Is that right?
Something like that, 9-10.
Oscar-winning, you know, film that's
Yep.
going to be screened here for free October 2nd.
For free. Love that. Oh my gosh.
And the star of the movie, Rick O'Barry, will be here.
And Rick O'Barry, if you don't know, was the trainer of Flipper. It was a number of dolphins actually that he worked with who played Flipper. And I'm going to put the link up for his documentary, the old documentary. And if it doesn't make you think and want to get on board, then yeah, there's no hope for you. But we'll keep you posted on where the venue's going to be. But it's free. I think that's amazing because then it's easy to get people to be there,
Absolutely.
you know, and meet him because he's going to be here. Correct?
You're going to meet him.
I want to meet him. He's a hero.
You
of
better
mine.
come.
Oh, I'll be here.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere. I will definitely be there. Well, we've just got a couple of minutes left. Tell people again how they get hold of you.
Okay, you can reach us on Facebook at facebook.com/Las Vegas Dolphins. We have a Twitter account that would be at Vegas Dolphins. And we're also on YouTube and Instagram, and both usernames are Mojave Dolphins.
Good. It's nice when they're all consistent. I don't know about Chris, my producer. Maybe he just ran away. He was like, see ya. Vince, who comes on my does his show after mine, he came in the studio. I was like, came to see if you had any animals.
Maybe
So I'm
we
like,
need to save dolphins.
I'm like, we can't bring a dolphin in today.
I was going to dress my dog up like a dolphin and bring him.
That would have been great. Jim, do you ever dress like a dolphin on the strip?
We totally need to get a
considered
costume.
it. We have
considered
considered
getting
the
a
idea.
costume.
I
considered it.
think it's genius. I really think it's genius, and I need to know when you're going to do it.
We're going to do it in November or December when it's not 120 degrees outside.
Yeah, because you're smart. Hello. Well, I'm so glad you came on the show. It won't be your last time.
Thank
that's
you
for sure.
so much for having
I really
us.
want to get the
Thank you.
community on board with this. And if anyone knows, what's his name again? Jim
Moran.
Moran over at the Mirage. We want to try and connect them together so we can just improve things. As we say, you know, progress is sometimes way better than perfection sometimes. I want to thank all our sponsors that make our show happen. I want to thank all the sponsors who have come on board for our Rock in the Rough golf tournament. That is August 9th, Spanish Trail. It's a golf tournament in the morning, and it is a social event in the afternoon. Now, the social event, the entertainment, and I haven't released it all yet, but my friend Geechee Guy from America's Got Talent is going to crack you up. He's so funny. He's going to be making you laugh during the social event. We're going to have Jeff Young from Megadeth, formerly of Megadeth, and his beautiful fiancée, Sherry Klein. They're going to do an acoustic set, and that's going to be really good. And actually, I'm going to announce this right now, but Jasmine Trias from American Idol and her wonderful boyfriend, who's British, Ben Stone, and we like to call him Britain's next rising star. They are beautiful singers. They work together. They're going to be gracing our event too. So it's going to be a very, very fun event, obviously benefiting 4 rescues. The ticket is only $50. Let me tell you, we've got a carving station. So you got your, I think it's sirloin, we've got turkey, we got, it's good. We've got ice cream. We've got, it's going to be amazing. $50, nothing. That obviously you get your entertainment, you get your swag bag, you get to go on the red carpet, you get to eat food with raffle auction. It's going to be incredible. We have a guitar given to us by Robbie Krieger of The Doors that he signed. So we got some amazing rock and roll stuff. Please come to the event. It's rockintherough.com. And I want to thank my guests for coming on the show, Shelley, Cecilia, and Jim. It's been fabulous. There's so much more to learn, and I'm sure you'll be educating us on that as it goes along. I want to say thank you to Chris.
Thanks,
Chris is very quiet, low-key Chris, but
Chris,
we love
are you ever going to see dolphins at the Mirage?
Never.
I did.
Now, you see, now he knows.
Now you know.
Now Chris knows, you see. You see, we've converted one person at least. Thanks to Chris, always runs the show smoothly. And I would like to thank you, the listeners, for being a huge part of the show every week. Today you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where we like to talk about pets, people, pop culture, and dolphins. And pigs, and any other animal I can bring in the studio. And I never tell Chris. He walks in, it's always a monkey. Oh, it's a pig.
Chris is going to be in the dolphin costume at the next protest.
Yeah, come on, Chris. Let's do our thing. I want to say a big thank you. Remember to always kiss your pets good morning and good night. It's the only way to live. And we'd like you to have a great weekend. We hope to see you at our event in a couple of weeks, rockintherough.com. And if you want to be a sponsor, buy tickets, just hop on over to that website. We'd love to see you there. Come and network, come have a good time, come have some laughs, come and meet me and Pam from Rocking for Rescues, who I'm doing this event with. Thanks for listening in, and we'll post all the links on Facebook, make it really easy for you to follow. Free the Mojave Dolphins from the Mirage Hotel. Thanks for listening in, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.